All right, good morning, good morning. Okay, now in time for another podcast on Hilchos Pesach. So, we are holding with discussing which types of chametz are mutter, which types of chametz are aser. There are two categories of chametz that can become aser. The chametz that can become no longer edible. For example, if you have bread that is moldy, you may still want to be able to give it to your pet dog, but a human wouldn't eat it anymore. That's called nifsal me'achilas adam. It's no longer edible for people, but it is still available and usable for animals. In that case, it's still considered chametz, and you are not allowed to own it. You're not allowed to get. You are certainly not allowed to eat it. And the reason is because chametz in that stage is still usable even in food preparation, because it has the necessary chemical components that can change other chametz, other dough, and make it more chametz. It's no different than so'or, which is the olden day yeast type of thing. Therefore, it is still aser midioraisa. However, once the food becomes not edible even for a dog, that's called nifsal me'achilas kelev, and it's not even edible for a dog, then it is mutter to eat. And this has very broad implications, because basically anything that is no longer edible for a dog is mutter. So that's why people always ask, which shampoo is mutter? It is mutter. You do not have to check your ingredients on a shampoo. In fact, any type of non-extremely viscous thing, let's say shoe polish or any of these materials. I'm talking about the not the liquid shoe polish, but any of these materials which contain a non-viscous thing. Let's say medications and things like that. You do not have to check. We'll talk about medications in a second, but let's say shampoos and things like that. There's a letter written by the CRC, Rabbi First, Rabbi Zucker, and they're all in agreement, although I'm sure there are some places more machmer, but at least over here in Chicago, we go with that everything that is a viscous, non-edible is mutter. You do not have to check it for Pesach. This is to be differentiated between extremely viscous, like let's say colognes or perfumes. Those you do have to check because they contain alcohol, and that alcohol can be reconstituted very easily by those in the know, for those who are desperate to have alcohol. So you go ahead, so those are able to be reconstituted very easily into edible alcohol, and therefore it is not considered inedible by the halachic standards. So therefore, non-viscous, let's say perfume, let's say shampoos, conditioners, and things like that, you do not have to check for Pesach, but viscous things that contain alcohol must be checked for Pesach. And a way to know is if it's made in America, it's usually okay. If it's made in Europe, by the way, I'm not sure you want such perfumes, and if it's made, in Europe or France or whatever, so then you have to go ahead and check it on a list, of a cautious list. You can call me and we can go through it, and which is what we do every year. I spend half the time looking up, looking up these perfume websites, but you can go ahead and check out these, and you have to check out the perfumes because it is still edible by dog standards. Now, with regards to medications, that's a big machlekas hapaiskim. In Chicago, that same letter that permits shampoos and the like, and lotions and things like that, allows all form of pill and tablet medications, and the reason is because you're not really eating it. However, there are, as it's something that goes down. There are poskim who say that the very fact of you eating it constitutes the chametz inside of it, because it's called a halachic concept called afsheveh. Therefore, the best idea would be, if you want to cover your bases entirely, would be if you could somehow make sure and verify that the pill you're taking does not have any chametz. If you have two options in front of you, one of them does not have any chametz, one of them has chametz, there's no reason to opt for the chametz option. However, if you're on a serious medication, a heart medication, a diabetes, or whatever, and there's no substitute, and even if it's hard to get the substitute, you could rely no problem on this Pesach, that any pill or tablet medication you do not have to worry about. Vitamins do not go under this. Everybody's asking about prenatal vitamins. Skip your prenatal unless you could find a maybe Maxi Health maybe has one, or the other one, Frida, one of the Jewish companies maybe has a Hechsher for Pesach one. If they do, then great. If you're Sephardi, you want to go, you could even eat with kidneys maybe. But if you don't need prenatal vitamins. You don't need it. You could skip your week of prenatal vitamins. Everything will be fine. Don't worry. and you don't have to worry about it. Liquid and chewable medications are different. Those have to have a kosher for Pesach hechsher, and unless, of course, it's a life-threatening situation, or even it makes you more of a sick information. So for any specific cases, call me and we'll schmooze it out. Otherwise, have a great day.